York City, it's the Todd Barry Podcast. The Todd Barry Podcast.
Hey everyone, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. It's 10:07 in the morning, earliest I've ever recorded this podcast.
What are you, a radio DJ?
That's the reason right there why I've gotten up this early.
Yeah.
To accommodate a rare New York appearance of Andy Kindler, who's here. He wanted to do this at 9:30 in the morning. I did some negotiations. I was able to make it happen at 10 a.m.
Don't negotiations usually imply there's money involved?
Yeah, well, I don't think so. I think there's lots of negotiation. Are you taking vitamins right now?
I'm taking fish oil.
Fish oil? Mm-hmm. Are you supposed to take that right when you started doing a podcast
Yes.
interview? Is that what your doctor said?
Why am I laughing like I have a
Whenever your doctor
problem?
said, whenever you're near a microphone, open your bag up.
That's not funny. My doctor died earlier today.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
No.
Oh. That would be awful if that was true.
How would you know that?
I had a doctor die once.
Well, that's sad.
This is long ago.
I don't want to talk about that because you actually have had tragedy in life, and I've been tragedy free.
Have you really?
My parents are still alive.
Really?
84 and 86. I'm sorry, do you do an intro thing?
No.
Time and temperature?
I just want to. This is just whatever happens.
10:07. I do my DJ. People still love it. 60, 70 degrees in New York State. It's going to get a little hot out there later on, so put away the umbrellas, but keep out the sunscreen.
It might actually be 67.
It's 70, the guy that the cab driver's had.
The cab driver?
Big fan.
He's a big fan of yours?
No, I just made it.
How often do you get recognized?
The thing is, it comes, I don't know about you, but it comes in streaks. Like sometimes it'll be 2, 3, 4 people a day will recognize me, and then nothing for weeks.
Yeah.
So it's like that. But the thing is, what I got going for me now is the kids love me because I was on the Wizards of Waverly Place.
Well, I don't even know what that is.
It was Selena Gomez's show on Disney.
Seriously?
Yeah, and you know there's a channel called Disney. Why would they make this up?
No, I mean, I don't know why I meant seriously, not that I can't believe there was that Selena Gomez show.
That I would be cast?
I just didn't know you were doing the show.
What happened was...
You don't tweet about it. What happened? I'm listening.
I think this happened so much in my life. The part was written for Richard Lewis, and then something happened. He couldn't, and then he couldn't do it, and then or maybe then I stepped right in and I played a wizard.
Really? How many episodes you do?
I think I was on 3 or 4 episodes. I was on the very exciting thing. Well, I think it was exciting. I was on the final episode. People think I'm a sellout for being on a kid show. I think it's great.
Why is that?
Because people think I'm Mr. I'm going to do your voice patterns. People think I'm like, because I am so critical of things that are on TV, they think that I think that anything that anybody does is a sellout, but I'm like all for making a living, and I don't have any problem with a kid show.
Oh, so you're a hypocrite.
Yes, that's more like, that's what I would say.
So was this a big part on the Wizard show?
Well, no, I mean, it was a big part each time I was on the show. As I always do, I did it method-like, so I studied being a wizard.
But so now that you're on a kid's show...
No, it's over, though.
It's over? But
because she's too old to be on a kid's show.
You can do the whole I only do autographs and pictures for kids thing.
I have found that at the level that I am in this crazy business, I don't worry about... I don't want my picture taken anymore. Because it happens so infrequently.
Yeah.
Why would I ever say, I'm sorry, I can't. It's such a burden. If I was Zach Galifianakis, who has to wear a disguise, he's already in disguise because he's got the beard.
Does he wear a disguise?
Well, he doesn't have to, but he can't walk. The guy can't walk 2 feet without people going, hangover guy. So those people... deserve, and I know Louis doesn't like to take photos. That's understandable. They're mobbed all the time. I am not mobbed, so I am encouraging people. If you want me to take a photo with you, and for $1, I'll put myself on a green screen.
Well, afterwards, no one knows what a green screen is. Only a handful of nerds know what a green screen is.
It was the wrong reference. That's what bothers me. It wasn't even
I'll
a proper...
put myself on a green screen. Yeah.
What did that even mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm deeply entrenched in show business. I didn't quite get that.
I meant what I meant to say was I'll pose with these people in a photo.
Of course. I always think, not that, it's the same with me. It happens once in a while. I think only twice have I said no to someone. Once was at an airport where I just felt self-conscious. I had a moment of this seems weird.
Yeah.
And also, this is weird to even talk about.
Why?
But when also at my level, and probably your level, if you do it and people see, like, why is this guy so... Then you have to answer people's questions, like, why did that guy ask you for it? And then you have to go, I'm a cult artist. No, I'm not a huge star. But,
yeah. What field are you in? What's your field? That you're a huge star, like you're an art star?
I'm a television star.
Yeah, but let me tell you something though. I'm the other way. My wife Susan, who you know.
Yeah.
She gets mad at me because not mad at me really, but she's like, it's embarrassing that if someone recognizes me, this is from my act, but it's really true.
Yeah.
That invariably they excuse themselves after recognizing me. They go, I have a plane to catch.
Oh, really?
And I'm still going on. What was your favorite episode? What have you enjoyed me in?
Wow.
So
I think some of them come up to you and they sort of like, all right, I'm going to go talk to them.
Yeah.
They're not prepared. They're so prepared for you to fucking snap at them.
Right.
Like I do. No, I don't. But so then if you go, hey, how's it going? What about it? Then they go, I wasn't prepared for this. And then they scamper off. Either that or you're just long-winded.
Right, I'm long-winded.
Are you really?
Yeah. No, I have a problem in general with human interaction because I'm very, I'm very conscious. I want to be liked.
Yeah.
Which is odd that I would then in my act be tweeting at 1 a.m. in the morning, just watch Jimmy Fallon's pro and con bit. Where do they get these? So you'd think a guy like me would be overly nice on Twitter. But no, I'm confrontational, in your face. And then when I'm with you, then I want to be. I don't want you to punch me, and I want to be nice.
Yeah. I think there's what's the word for that? Oh, bully. Now.
Oh, you mean I'm a cyberbully?
Cyberbully.
Right. No, I'm a troll. I think I'm more of a troll.
Do you people write back to you? And you get into it though. I've clicked on a few of your threads.
I'm getting better at it.
You'll respond to everyone, right?
I'll respond to
Even to negative people.
I have two problems that I think is endemic on Twitter, and people, like I said, like last week I said, if you have thousands of followers and you only follow 3 people, if that's your way of saying I'm a jerk. So people came back and be like, what about the Pope? What about, Jim, what about, like I said, Jim Carrey just follows his daughter, Well, but that's because Jim Carrey's not on Twitter replying to people, he's just basically, this is what I'm doing. But I have a problem where, I'm interacting too much in the sense that it's all about me. It's like that thing where you tweet and then you go to the interactions area and you look. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous. I love to hear what other people have to say sometimes. Don't you think I need to open up to that? So what I am getting better at is not being confrontational, because I'm one thing is I don't want to get punched in the face and I don't want to get shot and I don't want to stir up a crazy person. So I try to let things go, but a lot of times you just read things the wrong way all the time.
I think you can read things the wrong way, and also sometimes people are just mean. But you have to.
They are mean.
You have to step away from the computer, or I sometimes will write to someone and go, "Should I respond to this?" And then you do that, then you get it out of your system. Then you cool down, and by then you've gotten 700 other shitty, mean tweets. Well,
one thing I think is good when I'm in this mode is if I can respond to anything with a joke or lightheartedly. Then it's kind of cool because then you don't get into it emotionally. But then every once in a while, someone will say something that just gets to you. You
got any examples, or we don't want to go?
No.
We don't want to go there.
Don't you? Okay, for example, don't you like anything? That one drives me crazy. Because I feel like, first of all, if you read the timeline, I say many positive things. Like if you tweet something, I retweet it all the time. I think I'm very supportive of my friends and people, like that way. So it's not, but they want me tweeting all day long? I like apples. What's really nice? Walks in the forest. That's not comedy to me. Comedy, my particular form of comedy normally, there's very few observational things I do, although I will do that. But something gets the zinger in my comedy. It's either the Republicans or show business people or a TV show or something.
Do they ever write back to you? I mean, I've seen you. You'll actually, you'll put the little @ symbol to really.
And that's another thing too that's crazy, because sometimes I don't want to. Sometimes it's not about me saying sometimes I want to make an observation without calling the person out. And then sometimes like I can't stand Bill Maher. I despise, at this point, I despise him. And it isn't personal in the sense that, I think he is probably a dick. I mean, it's like, I don't believe that in his personal life. I've met him and stuff. I do not think he's really that good of a guy.
I've never met him.
You never met him. I did politically incorrect a couple of times. And he's a brusque guy. He's full of himself, and so I don't care about it. I don't really at this.
You don't
point,
like his show? I like his show a lot.
See, I don't like his show because I feel like his show I used to love. I did. That's what, and this is the thing that is really the crux of a lot of the stuff that bothers me. I almost always go after people or things that I actually respect because I think it's. I mean, like Leno, when he was a great comic, is so far away now. I think he was a great comic in the 80s. So it's hard for me to even think about him as someone who I respected. But a lot of people that I make fun of, like Sandler, I used to go after because I loved him when he first started. So then I get like aggravated.
So people who've let you down is what it is.
Yeah, or let themselves or something, not living up to their whatever. But Maher's thing is different because I think he's. And this is nothing that alienates me from a lot of people in the world now. Is I'm very much against this. I'm very much against this idea that the new atheism and they're just like you're an idiot if you're not an atheist. I just think it's like, and thinking that everybody who believes in God believes in this concept of God as a white, an old white man in the clouds. It's like
I do see a lot more people kind of going that atheists. It's out there that atheists can be just as unbearable as.
Especially these. It's like I think most people who are atheists, you don't hear that they're atheists because they don't care.
Yeah, they're sort of a-religious.
Yeah, and that's how would that be bad if they don't? It's like I'm not going to go to somebody and go, you must please read about the Lord. But in Bill Maher's case, where he's bashing Muslims and goes out of his way, he says all religion is bad, and then he bashes Muslims more than everybody else. That's what bothers me about him. And also, I think his style of comedy is just to provoke. And I don't agree with that. I think you can't just say, anything I say that's provocative is okay. So, what do you like about his show? I used to love it because there was a lot of conversation going on.
Yeah, I like the conversation. I like seeing conservatives and liberals. I like seeing variety of opinions. And I think he's good at the show. I mean, you
don't get that wound up by politics, I don't think.
Wound up?
Yeah.
I just called the cops. I have to think of a new line every time there's a siren. Because there's always at least one siren.
You ever used, it must be my agent?
That's the comedy police.
The comedy police is good?
The podcast cops coming.
My cocaine is in?
No, I just like his show, and I find it entertaining, and I like hearing people who I don't agree with, and I like watching people what am I trying to say?
No, I think what you're trying to say is exactly right, and I think you're right. But let's agree on certain things. He is maybe the worst joke teller in the history of the world. If you're a comedian, and the thing I'm saying now, Todd Barry does not agree with. So please let everybody know that he is in the opposite camp. But when you, after 40 years, do a joke about the president and say, "I kid the president" every single time, at some point that means, and stand-up wise, you're a little bit and then he does this all the time too. He goes, "Tonight on the show, somebody from the Lawrence Livermore Physics Laboratory, my old job." He does that joke every day. He's a hack in that way. And he's overrated.
Is he aware how you feel about him?
He has to be. I don't know. So, I used to make fun of him all the time, and I met him once, and he was nice to me. So I don't know. I think I'm a flea on his thing. I don't think he's aware of me. Maybe.
Would you?
I love Scott Carter, who's the producer of the show.
He used to do stand-up.
I work with him on The Root of All Evil. I'm a huge fan, and I think they've got some excellent writers. I mean, there's a lot of people involved in the show I like, but if they could just replace Bill Maher.
Don't you think he's... we don't have to talk about him.
No, but I do... You know what it's like? It's not one way or the other. It's not like he's clearly... it's not like arguing about Jimmy Fallon's sitcom Guys with Kids, we was like, okay, that's maybe the worst show ever on television. Everyone agrees. You're not going to go, oh, no, I like to see men with carrying their kids with a papoose for 20... Is that what that's called?
I didn't even know he had a sitcom.
Yeah, it was...
I do know what a papoose is, though. I think
was that thing
where the baby faces you? And constantly hugs you.
Yeah. So, it was Anthony Anderson and two other guys, and they were like guys with kids.
I wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah. So that we can agree on. But Bill Maher, it's trickier because he does have talent and all this other stuff, and people can disagree, and I'm right and you're wrong.
Oh, you should have just said that. No, that doesn't kill enough time if you just go, I'm right and you're wrong.
I'm right and you're wrong. We'll be back after these messages with more I'm right and you're wrong. Todd, what do you think
So you just did Letterman. Did we even talk about that?
No. We did Letterman. It's on when do you roll? When does this drop?
This is probably going to drop, I don't know, sometime in June. Not January. I've got them stacked up. I got 3,000.
Do you have a team that puts this together?
I do have people that help me. Yeah.
Are you on iWolf?
So you did Letterman last night?
Yes, but it's going to be shown tonight because he does two episodes a day.
And you did a stand-up set?
I did a stand-up set, and it was so much fun. But as I was telling you before we started, my mind went blank.
You blanked, yeah.
Yes.
You mentioned that to me before we started rolling. I wasn't sure if you wanted to bring that up.
I don't mind doing it because
you're a tell-all guy.
I'm a tell-all guy, and that's I'm not a tell-all guy in the sense that you will never hear me on stage talk about like my mother and father, or except a joke about them. I'm not like one of these like my.
It's not a therapy session,
right? Like my parents aren't alcoholics, but if they were, I wouldn't mention it,
right?
So I'm very protective that way. You will never hear me talk about my wife except in joking ways.
Is she an alcoholic?
She is an alcoholic, and she's got
and your parents are,
and she's really my sister. Good night, everybody. That's terrible.
Damn. So you did it, and how many times have you done stand-up on that?
Well, I think
we all know how many times we've done it, so don't pretend you don't know.
Well, it's hard in my case, Todd, because I've done so many field pieces. I'm a field correspondent, so.
How many times have you done stand-up was the question I asked.
Well, it's so hard. I think about 8. I think 8. Yeah. I think 8. How about you?
8. Exactly 8. Yeah.
Wow, but mine were stronger sets, though, right? I mean, that's the difference. There's nobody funnier than you. Let's get that out of the way. You are on my top.
You never know from this podcast. I'm real serious on this podcast.
There's nobody funnier than you. You are one of the funniest people, and I only say one of the funniest people because I don't want to say you're funnier than Marin or you're funnier than the people I love, but there's nobody funnier than you.
So it's
top of your game.
It's a tie.
The only time that you were hacky was years ago at the Boston Comedy Club for one night.
That's possible.
Remember that?
Are you serious?
No, okay. You weren't hacky, but you were able to deal with the crowds better. Where I was like just crying.
So what you're saying is you bombed and I did well.
Exactly right.
So that's exactly.
I hated that club.
He must be a hack.
Was that club better in certain times?
That club was either. Excuse me. That was the best of times, worst of times. Like everything that could happen in a club, you could destroy there, or you could walk out of there. Where you need security to walk you out of there because there's so much hostility in the room. Well,
there's a lot of emotional problems I had with New York because when I've talked about this a lot before too, that I was very envious of I was from New York, went out to California, then I come back to New York, and it was like I'm not home. So you would think from New York the clubs would be my home clubs, but I never felt completely comfortable, and I was kind of envious of a lot of you guys that like for example Attell. Everybody said Attell. So when I first saw Attell, my attitude was, oh, what's this guy gonna do? And I thought he was but now I think he's he's the greatest.
He's one of the funniest ever.
The greatest comic. Hilarious. I mean,
and I think underappreciated.
Yeah, that's weird to me because he's like I think like my hero comedy-wise, and I loved Insomniac. So to me, I feel like he's the best, and then he's also very sweet.
Yeah.
So I think I had built up that I always thought the comics in New York were like cliquish, and that the LA comics weren't. And I think there may have been some truth to that, but he's more like a loner guy.
Yeah, you don't know what goes on with him.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's anything mysterious. You just don't know. Where he is. First time I went to LA, someone I wish I could track down who this person is because it's probably someone I know. Someone introduced me as this is Todd, he's a comic from New York. Oh, so do you say fuck a lot in your act? It's like, really? You can't just say hi to me and get to know me?
That's terrible.
Who
was that guy?
Yeah, it's all New York. I wonder if it's someone I'm friends with.
Yeah, it's true what the person said. That's all you.
Spot on. We always.
Yeah, it's like fuck, man, and I got you something. You had a lot of jokes like I got you something right here. Wasn't that your bit?
Then I point to my crotch.
Yeah, you grabbed your crotch.
So, have you ever thought of doing a residency here in New York, or living in not a residency, but living in New York a while and doing pounding the Pavement Club circuit.
Well, no, but let me just wrap up that one thing. Last night when I did Letterman, my mind did go blank. But I
want you to talk about that.
Yeah. It happened once on the MTV half-hour comedy hour in 1990 or whatever. Was the only other time it happened. But that was even worse because I was completely inexperienced and I had no idea what I was doing. And I walked along I was walking and I couldn't remember anything. And my ex-girlfriend at the time was sitting in the front row and she gave me that look like, oh my God, it's all over.
They used to give you Letterman used to let you do a lot of things they don't let you do anymore. Like they used to let you have a cue card.
Right, but this would have been, last night was the worst because was the worst in terms of my fear. Maybe it was 5 or 6 seconds. I'm hoping I'll see it tonight. But I remembered, I knew the name of the bit.
Oh, you knew the name?
I knew the name. I said, I know that I'm supposed to do a bit about Michelangelo, but I don't.
You actually said that out loud?
No, it was in my mind. So I didn't address it. Normally I address like everything, but in that case I was just like, if this goes on 2 more seconds, I'll have to either go to the next bit or address it.
TV spots are pretty terrifying.
They can be, and this is the weird thing. I don't know how you feel about it. It's like sometimes you feel like this is the greatest thing in the world, so easy, and then but you're so aware of your talking every second. It's really like a roller coaster.
Yeah, I think the best times I've done it are when they've called me like the day of. A couple of times they've called me like, we need someone today, and then you put something together.
I would think your act would be more perfect for TV than a lot of comics.
Oh, it's
acts.
definitely perfect.
Yeah, I think you're hard. I don't think you're strong in a club so much. I'm trying to insult you, but I can't think of.
I know.
I don't think your act is like, it's not the material, right? It's not the delivery so much.
It sounds like a New York Times article that was written about me.
Is that true? Isn't this the one where they misquoted your material?
Yeah. It was like the most glowing, backhanded thing ever written about me. It was because like we don't have to talk.
We don't have to talk about that. It is about you, though.
So you blanked. How long do you think the blanking was?
I'll find out tonight, but I think it was about 5 or 6, 7 or 8 or 10 seconds or 3 or a minute.
I wonder if they could tighten that, like cut to an audience shot or something.
That'd be so weird.
And people would be like, I've never seen them cut to an audience shot.
Yeah, that's so weird. I think it's going to be fine. But, I'm obsessive compulsive disorder. And so I've been assessing about that. But if I watch it tonight and I don't see it at all, and a lot of people, I asked everybody, only 2 people noticed it. And I'll find something else to worry about.
Did you, so you work... You can't use a microphone on that show anymore. And
that doesn't bother me either. I know for some reason that doesn't bother me. And I know it's on Conan now some people don't use. I guess some people do or they don't.
You can do whatever you want.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you can do either a handheld, you can walk out with a handheld,
yeah,
a mic on a stand.
Well, I remember years ago there was a show called Comedy Product or something like that.
I do remember that.
I remember arguing with the guy for hours about he wanted to go no microphone because he thought that was more alternative. But I see the argument about not using a microphone on the talk shows only because they don't look like clubs, and that's.
I don't think anyone cares.
Nobody cares.
I think if you're on a big stage and you walk out with a microphone, they're going to be like, "Oh, the guy's talking into a microphone."
Well, like a singer, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a way of a singer to. I don't know. Maybe there isn't a way.
Were you not comfortable with it when you did it?
I just would like to use a microphone.
Yeah.
I just am more comfortable, and I just feel like that's the way I work.
You should do a bit where the bit requires a microphone.
I know. I thought of going out there with one in my pocket and just pulling out a dummy mic.
You mean on your last appearance?
On my last
TV?
Yeah. So,
are you saying residency? Should I do a residency?
No, yeah.
What does that mean even?
Forget the word residency.
Okay.
I mean, have you ever thought of like, I should live in New York, because you can do more sets here. You know what I'm talking about.
You said that I'm just I am a stand-up, but it's just a stepping stone to film, which I've never done yet. Yeah. You have a much better career. You're just, everything that you do is better than what I'm doing. You're in movies. You're in, not only in movies, you're in more than one movie.
I am in several movies. You're not in a lot of movies, are you?
I just said I wasn't. So when you say it again, it's just a matter of reinforcing the point. Ask me if I've been in movies. Not yet.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring you around to all my neighbors. I'm going to knock on the door and go, do you reckon this guy from movies? And they're going to be like, I don't.
How do you do during auditions? You do good?
I just put myself on tape for an audition. Tom Shalhoub came over. Now that's what they'll do. That they'll tape an audition on your own, like.
Are you kidding me?
And email it to us.
That's crazy.
And so Tom Shalhoub, who's my first guest on the podcast, came over with his iPhone, and he has a lavalier, he has a microphone because he does a lot of auditions, and he filmed me. But I think I'm a bad auditioner. I know that everyone says that to give the illusion that they're a great actor, but they're.
We're having beverages here.
Point you can hear this is.
Yeah, I'm having a whiskey sour.
This is a real casual chat show.
And Todd's having a.
I'm having an Alabama slam.
A rum spritzer. And then, so why don't you go in? Because you have to. Because there's nothing.
Well, this was like in L.A.
Because nothing's shot
this
here.
Was an HBO
nothing
show in
is shot here. Everything is shot.
That's back to your point,
LA.
right?
Yes, everything is in L.A. But you're saying what I should do is put my fantastic career on hold and move here.
I'm saying to work on your stand-up.
But where would I live?
In New York City.
Yeah, but who would pay for it? Like live with you? Room with you?
No. You have money, right?
No, I don't.
Really?
I'm in debt.
Are you?
Aren't you not in debt at all? It's fantastic.
I used to be.
Do you own this apartment?
No. I don't have $10 million.
Nobody can. You could never. No one can afford anything nice in New York.
I watched
right?
$1 Million Listing New York last night. Do you ever watch that?
I watch. I think I do watch that show. I watch that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you feel bad because you don't have $1 million.
Well, none of these are $1 million. These are like $3 million and $7 million.
What can I get for $400,000 in a nice condo in New York?
Nice
Maybe
condo?
2-bedroom, 3-bedroom.
New York City?
New York City, Manhattan. 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom.
Yeah, 3-bed, definitely 3.
Okay, I'll go 2-bedroom.
You can get a nice 3-bedroom for $400,000. It's weird though. Our places, there are people listening who don't realize maybe that we're joking because they have
They live in
5-bedroom house that costs $175,000.
Well, you could buy a house in a lot of places.
Yeah, upstate New York. That's what you should do. Get an upstate New York writer's retreat house.
What about something like I live in Woodstock and I just drive in for auditions, baby?
Like you live near Arlo Guthrie or something?
I just want to, for the record, say that there's a siren going on.
I know.
And Todd just said Arlo Guthrie. He didn't mean to say it, but why shouldn't I point it out?
Did I mangle my words?
I don't know.
I think I said
You know what people say all the time? They say Ann Lee Kindler. You cannot say Ann Lee Kindler. You could miss it.
Why? Why did you never thought of just living here and being a New York comic for a while?
Well, I did that a lot.
There are a lot of rooms here, and you could really go on stage a lot.
Yeah, but are there great rooms here?
Are there great rooms in LA?
The alternative scene's great, and I used to think, and this I do think is true, that in the '90s I felt like LA, in terms of the alternative scene, before Luna came in, there was more going on in LA alternatively. But now I think New York is maybe the best scene in the country, stand-up wise.
So you think don't you think those alternate, quote unquote alternative rooms? I only use alternative in the sense of alternative to a full-time comedy club, not as a description of.
Oh yeah, I think we all of us who are, not know nothing about comedy agree that alternative never meant anything to define the style of comedy.
Because I find a lot of really not awful. Yeah, I'm going to say awful.
Yeah.
There's just as much terrible comedy in those rooms.
Absolutely. And
not even worse, and also lazy terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you might see someone in a club who's sort of sleepwalking through it. Mm-hmm. But then you'll see the opposite, where it's just like, I'm trying so hard to show you I'm not sleepwalking through this.
Yeah.
You have to see what I'm doing right now. What else? Look at the stool. What else? Well, is that a show you're doing? Are you doing it when do you ever do a show for people? What else? What else? No, not that. No, not that. Yeah, I did that. And then they do the same. Give
me 10 more seconds of this guy.
I don't know if this is translating to podcast.
It does. Everything you do translates. I mean, not outside of 300 people, but those 300 people are into it. No, I think you're absolutely right. Also, I think, but any definition you make is always going to be a generalization. But the thing that I do think that people like us have an advantage over people who just do alternative rooms is that we've played everything. I wouldn't purposely go and put myself in a terrible situation now, gig-wise. I wouldn't say going into a gig, this is a one-nighter, I hope it's going to be bad because I'll learn something. But I have had all those years of terrible gigs, which I think adds to your strength as a comedian.
Because I think, and also... And I've made this point before, you did Letterman last night. Those people in the audience at Letterman are people who were at the M&M store 2 hours before they saw you. You know what I mean? They're the people in the comedy clubs. They're not comedy nerds. And you killed, probably.
Well,
let's just say you killed.
Let's say I killed. Well, the thing is, though, that I noticed with his show is that when he first went to the big theater, I felt like he had a lot of crowds that really the place felt big, and I felt like the crowds didn't know why they were there sometimes. Now I feel like they do know more why they're there, because they laugh at all. But I mean, they laugh at his. They're used to laughing at his making fun of himself and stuff. So that's why I'm such a huge star on the show. I'm just a big star in general, and people have to know what we're kidding. I'm playing the role of an egomaniac.
I was going to ask you. God, I had a point. Now I'm blanking.
About alternatives? About
I think. Oh yeah, I was talking to a guy, an LA comic, and he was telling me about this potential road gig he had at a comedy club. So, because I don't know if I should. Because I mean, what if it's terrible? It's like, well, if you're a good comic, it won't be terrible.
Yeah.
And not doing it is not the way to know whether it's terrible or not.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely rooms where like, oh, this has been terrible 50 times in a row, and they let people throw things. Then you go, all right, I don't want to do that room. But to just be like, I don't want to go to another city and do with none of my friends in the audience.
Well, the other part of it is you need. I mean, not to sound like an old jerk or whatever, but you need stage time.
We are old jerks.
We are old jerks, but we need stage. You need, like, I feel now, if I took, like, I met Stephen Wright, and it was so, I love him so much, but he was so weird, because, not weird, but I was weird, because I was like, I love you, you know, you're so great, and I didn't say it like that, but he kept saying, he kept asking me, what's your name, but I was like so lost, and I finally said, my name is Andy Kindler, but he said that, if he doesn't do it for like a month, he didn't say it to me, but I heard it on the podcast. If he doesn't do it for a month sometimes, and then he'll have a show, he'll think it feels weird. And I agree with that. You know, I can feel sometimes weird, but in general, I don't feel like if I take a couple nights off, I'm going to forget what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken very little time off, but there's been times where I've taken a week off or whatever.
But you're on every night?
I'm on a lot of nights. Yeah.
Yeah.
How many nights a week for you?
It really depends on what's going on.
See, in LA, it's a pain in the ass. You have to drive everywhere.
It is a pain. Well, I've done sometimes. I used to make this joke that you can do 5 sets a night in LA, but you've got to start in San Diego, then you drive to Palm Springs and do a set. It's very hard to do that, but I feel it depends. It's all depending on what's going on. I would like to get up 3 or 4 times a week, but I don't think it comes out that way. But then I'm on the road working.
Let's talk about the road. I love talking about the road on the Todd Barry podcast. Where have you been lately?
Let's see. I played the LOL Comedy Club
in San Antonio.
Yeah.
How was that?
Well, I love those. There's such great people who run the room, and they're so cool. But the ceilings are high. It's hard with high ceilings.
I don't like high ceilings.
High ceilings, I've come to realize now, are difficult for comedy. Oh, I had a great gig in this club I've always wanted to play, Bloomington.
Oh, that's a good.
The Comedy Attic.
Place. That's a really good place.
That was really, really amazing.
Audiences are nice.
Yeah.
Ceilings are low.
Perfect. It's a perfect
small.
room. And it's a beautiful town.
Yeah, it's a cool town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good room.
Right.
And you had good shows there.
I had good shows there. I'm the first, as you know, I'm the first person. Well, it makes the papers too, how bad I bomb.
I don't think you're the first to admit to bomb. It's usually the club booker that's the first to admit it. So
I'm going to Cap City this month.
That's a good place.
Yeah. So I love Acme. Acme's the best.
Acme's good in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Why don't you? So you should be playing.
This is what every conversation that anybody has with me always starts out with "You should be" and "Why haven't you?"
But that means they like you, and they just
but like whatever happened to me, I've heard that one from a guy in a supermarket. I'm just kidding.
I know what happened to you. I know what happened to you.
Don't talk about that. That's the only thing. We're not going to talk about that one thing.
That's going to be in the bonus tracks.
Yeah. People, actually, nothing happened to me, so people don't think that we're hiding something.
Why don't you do what I occasionally do? Why don't you book venues like music venues or little theaters or little 200-seat theaters or little improv theaters?
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing.
But you have more. You are like a go-getter.
Oh, you're lazy. You did that tour with Marin a while ago.
Yeah, right before Marin's whole thing exploded with that podcast, we were all, except for Eugene Merman, who was an up-and-comer, Mark and I were like we were at the end of our rope, but it was a weird time period. So the tour was called Stand-Uppity, comedy that makes you feel better about yourself and superior to others, which I still love as a name, but doesn't mean anything because the name won't get people in. But yeah, I think you're a trailblazer in that way with these small rooms.
But I feel like you are good. People know who you are.
Yes.
So why not go to a place, do one night, get the whatever people who like you.
Yeah, I'm totally for that. Why am I not doing it? I don't know. Every year ends up weirdly with me. It's like I don't know what I did, but I'm also busy. I have things. I got things like I go to a lot of festivals too. Like I was in Moon Tower, which was great.
Who did you see there? Oh, me. You saw me there. Remember?
I do remember.
Man, now you're blanking on blanking on
No, I met you. I saw you.
I'm going to call you the blanker of comedy.
Every time I would see you, you were on the street. What are you doing? You getting something to eat, man?
So I was being friendly to you, is what you're saying.
No, man.
I was acting like a friend who ran into his friend on the street in Austin.
I don't see it that way. I see it more like you're in my face. So I do a lot of festivals.
Festivals are great, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to Toronto. So the thing is, I'm married, and I love my wife. So I try.
I like your wife.
What do you mean? How come you don't love her?
I thought it'd be rude to say I love her. I do.
That's true. She loves you too. So I would like to be. What I'd like to be is on the road 2 weekends a month, and then home in LA for all the LA stuff the rest of the time. So I think it's a pretty good balance. But I should do more of the things that you're doing. Well, how many engagements do you have per year? Would you say?
Oh, I don't know how many. I do the road like 4 months out of a year, maybe 3 months out of a year.
Well, I always see you, and you do these tours. Like I see you
should do a little
because you
tour.
go on my favorite on Sharpling, who's a genius.
Yeah,
and you go on his show.
And I plug my tour.
You're so funny on that show. You're so funny, and you go on there, and you say, I'm going to be in. Tickets are sold out for Shamborg, but you can still climb on to the. I can't think of any city.
Chicago sold out, but plenty of seats for Urbana.
Yeah. And you sell out all the time. And you did that.
I don't sell out all the time.
Everybody said they loved the tour you did where it was all crowd work.
I don't.
Was that hard?
It was challenging. It was challenging and not challenging because
it's stronger than your regular material.
It is. On one hand, no, because it was like you wake up and you go, I have nothing to prepare today.
That's unbelievable.
But then you go, but then I still have to do an hour show.
Did you record the shows?
I recorded some on my phone, but the idea of because people were like, you should have filmed it. I probably should have filmed it.
That might have been fun.
Once you bring a camera crew, then it defeats the purpose. Then it's a project, and then it's not fun. It's not a fun tour. It's like, it's all about making this documentary. Did you come up with material that came out with nothing? I don't think I came
nothing
up with
that lasted past it.
I think I came up with anything.
How about this? You go. You ever do a gig where it's all crowd work, and then you come, you tell an anecdote from there.
I could do that, but it was fun. But you should pick some cities.
Yeah, are you gonna help me with that? No, you've already helped me.
Do you have someone to book you?
Yeah, I do. I have Tom and Genio. He's available to book me. But the thing I wanted to tell you was that you've been very helpful to me. A lot of people don't think you've been very unsupportive, but you've been very supportive. You're always giving me leads.
That's the way Andy gives a compliment.
No, you've been very supportive. The only thing that you always give me trouble for, here's what Todd always does. What are you doing, man? I'm playing Laughs in Kirkland. That's a club I play.
Yeah.
Where are you staying?
Oh, the hotels.
I go, I'm in the Courtyard Marriott.
Courtyard by Marriott, for the record, is not a bad hotel.
It isn't a bad hotel, but you always find
You've
like
seen the commercial where the guy's drinking the Appletini.
Do you have an endorsement deal with them because you got very dodgy about it?
Oh, with Marriott? No.
But you don't. You do the thing. They stopped the thing with the bidding, right?
Well, no. Priceline is still.
Oh, I thought they stopped the bidding part.
No. You don't have to bid, but.
Have you ever thought of like someone like you or someone like me? I always felt would be great spokespeople for those kind of products.
You think I should get an endorsement deal with Marriott?
No, like Priceline, like you, because you. Well, they already is it Captain Kirk? Does he do Priceline?
Yeah. William Shatner does Priceline.
But I wanted to do go in flight.
Yeah,
I wanted to do commercials for them.
Why? Just so you could get it for free?
We sound like the lowest class show business people. I'll tell you what. If I will do national commercials for you, if you let me have free Wi-Fi in the sky. No, because I always thought if you believe in a product, it'd be fun to do commercials for them. That's my point. And I could use the money.
So you really love Go-Go Wireless.
I am Andy Kindler. You want to hear a sample commercial? Hey, how you doing? I'm Andy Kindler. What do I do in the sky? I go online. How do I do it, you don't ask? I go on Go-Go. Go, 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 go. Wake me up before you go, go.
But then they have to license that.
Oh, okay.
Here's your commercial for Go-Go. It's like, hi, I'm Andy Kindler, and I know what you're thinking. What if I think of a great anti-Bill Maher tweet when I'm flying from San Francisco to New York? There's no way to put it up, is there? There is with Go-Go.
Yeah. Are you ever rage-filled on an airplane? How do you do it? What do you handle it? Now you can. Do you feel like you're on an airplane? Look, I'd love to get online and ruin my career. Now you can with Go-Go. Because I've burned a lot of bridges, Todd. You're a guy...
I can't imagine how you burn bridges.
I don't understand it.
Publicly trashing people over and over.
Well, I did come up with a line that I think is fairly funny, and the line is... here's the line. The line is, when people say, have you hurt your career? What's going to happen at this point? Are the people who are not calling me for work going to not call me more? How can I hurt it?
Well, when you put it that way. Do you think you've hurt your career?
I think every comedian, and I don't know about you, but I think every person, there's a certain self-sabotage thing when you're under pressure. But I don't think as a behavioral pattern I sabotage myself. And I feel like that maybe there's some things I wish I hadn't said, but in general, I'm comfortable with that this is the direction I do want to go in. And I think if I went the direction I'm going in halfway, it would come off soft, you know? So, yes, I ruined my career.
Short answer is yes, absolutely. I fucked up and I blew it, and it's too late to turn around.
One thing I will say, you were talking about getting recognized. I'm not saying that I'm a huge star, although I am, but I'm trying to soft sell it. I think that more people are recognizing me now because they know my full name sometimes. Like they'll say, "Are you Andy Kindler?" That's a good sign, Todd.
That's a good sign.
That never happens to you, right?
No,
you go,
no.
You look like, are you the guy from the thing?
They go, hey, funny guy.
Hey, funny guy. Yeah.
Or thumbs up. That's good. Just a simple
But you're a triple threat. I mean, you are excellent. I mean, I'm not just... Look, I know that I can be mean. Not mean to you, but like... it's very hard for men to say anything sincere to each other, or men and women.
It's very hard for you to do.
Yes. But you're an excellent actor.
No.
No, you really are. You probably don't feel that way. But when I watch it, because I'm sure you're the same way with that I don't know if you're the same way, but I look at myself and go, I'm looking for a point where I don't look real, you know? But that's not coming across. When I watch you, like in The Wrestler, sure I would have done it better, but still, it was excellent. And you were good in that movie where you were a businessman in line and the thing.
Oh, man, in Wanderlust.
Yes.
No one else could have done that.
No, that was funny.
No one could have.
But that's you're a wise ass, and you're right there. How much stuff do you turn down movie wise now?
Oh, I turn down everything.
Do you feel like jealous? I'm not jealous, but like, why are we not Seth Rogen? Why are we not?
Don't you think you have a different job than Seth Rogen does?
What's my job?
See, I don't think that comedians. I think a lot of comedians, and I'm not saying you, feel like I'm a comedian, so I'm entitled to be an actor as well.
No, you're right.
It's like, no, you're not. Maybe you're a shitty actor. Maybe you should just be a comedian.
No, don't talk about... If you think I'm a shitty actor, Todd, just tell me. Don't say hypothetically.
I've never seen you act, so I can't even check.
I'm on Marin. You've seen me on Marin.
Sure, I did watch you on Marin.
Everybody Loves Raymond. Hello.
I did watch you in the I'm being interviewed for a podcast scene.
But how about the other scene?
That was funny, though.
With the gym. I'm going with him to the gym.
I didn't see that scene.
God damn it.
I should watch it.
Why don't you watch my stuff more? I've watched everything you're in. Name one thing that I didn't see that you were in. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you were great. I loved you in Fast and Furious 4 as the guy who can't do anything physical.
All right, we're going to burn out a few more questions.
Okay.
Then we'll go get a coffee and see if you get recognized.
Yeah, because I got to head back to the hotel by 11:30. Am I right?
Are you serious?
Yeah, because I have to check out at noon. I didn't do a late checkout.
You just call them up and say a late check.
No, but I'm seeing my parents.
No, we're going to make this interesting for people. And he's like, I gotta check out at noon. He thinks because the hotel says you have to check out at noon. If you go, hey, can I check out at 1? They're going to go, whoa.
No. But it's more like I have a
checkout.
car. The car's arranged. I would have to push back the car, and I'm going to see my parents in
parents-
Queens. They're elderly.
Do your parents have a late checkout also? Do they have some sort of rule as to when you get there? When are you going to do another special? I want to see an hour long. Everyone wants to see an hour long Andy Kindler special.
I'm making an album next
You should film
with
it.
AST Records.
Ah.
And the reason why I want to do it and make an album, is it called an album?
I think so, yeah.
Is because I think my favorite. Well, I mean, your CDs. I have your CDs on my iPod, so they're fantastic. And I loved Mitch Hedberg's Mitch Altogether, and I love something about the idea that you can't see the person and you're just listening to it. So that's the next thing I'm doing, which should happen in a month or so.
So you don't like the idea of doing a special, or you just don't?
Oh no, I'd like to do a special too, but well, I've done 2 half hours, and no one's offered me an hour.
Have you asked?
I don't know if I've asked. I think I have. Who have you asked? Who should I ask? Hi, Comedy Central. Andy Kindler.
Well, Comedy Central might be a place to go for a comedy special. You could try Discovery Channel, but
Yeah, I should. But I'm excited about the album, though. The other thing I'm excited about, because I have all these comics now, and you probably have this too. You can get these huge checks. Thousands of dollars every 3 months.
Yeah, serious.
Sound exchange.
I was going to tell you that off the mic,
Yeah.
because it might get a little specific and inside.
Inside, right?
But yeah, you can make.
Yeah, you could retire on that, right?
I make this. I shouldn't talk about this. I made $900,000 from
You shouldn't talk about that.
album royalties.
Yeah.
I didn't make that much.
Every
That
3
was a
months?
joke. See, that's one of those things where I said it, where it was just enough where someone's going to go, "Wow, I can't believe you said you made $900,000."
Right, but then they
from
know.
Sirius Radio play.
And we don't mean serious like it's serious.
No,
we
I'm
mean
talking about the company.
Yeah. So I would like to do another special,
When
but
is
I'm
your
so
album gonna come out?
focused. Well, I haven't even done it yet. I'm going to do it.
Have you thought of filming it and making it a 1-2 punch?
The reason why I don't want to do it is because, I made my own album, DVD. You know I did that, right?
I know, I've never seen it. Get it on Netflix.
It's called I Wish I Was Bitter. That's the thing that we didn't do with it. We were very proprietary. My wife, who is a brilliant photographer, which she won't talk about herself, she shot it, and we made. I'm so proud of the DVD. Still available for sale on AndyKindler.com.
definitely.
But it's not on Amazon. It's not anywhere, because my thing is, why should a lot of people see me when 3 people can see me?
Yeah,
So
you got to get it on Amazon.
I will. I'll do that. But the thing about it was that the reason I wanted to go with the album this time was because I felt like you have to cut everything together weirdly. It's harder to cut it together. I just want to make this album, edit it, and get it out there, baby.
Where are you going to do it?
Probably, maybe UCBLA. I don't know. I think it's there's not a lot of alternative-y rooms. I'd rather do it. I don't want to do it at the Improv or the Laugh. I don't even want to go to the Laugh Factory. Let alone do an album there.
Don't you want to be secretly videotaped there, saying something inappropriate?
Yeah, I'm not, and I don't care if any. I'm not as I don't think people should be taping your thing, but I'm not like a maniac about it. If I saw someone tape me, I'd say stop taping me.
Well, some people would say you're a maniac. No, I agree with you.
Yeah, but Chris Rock says he doesn't want to go to clubs, or I don't. What are you worried? What's the big worry?
Well, the big worry
Is he's a big star and he has things to worry
and
about.
if someone posts it,
Yeah,
it
that's
might
true.
be seen by 150,000 people,
Yeah.
and it might be a bit he hasn't worked out yet.
That part doesn't bother me because
you never work your bit.
Yeah, that's my point. When you see the final thing, it is no difference.
You're just like, well, that's.
So is funkering and not completing the joke his thing?
Andy,
Yeah.
so I didn't realize you were on that tight a deadline. I thought I talked you into the late checkout.
Yeah, I screwed up.
So you have an album. When do you think your album's coming out?
Are you only into the second question? No. My album will be coming out probably late summer, is what I'm thinking. How long does it take post-production?
I don't know how AST handles it. But I'll get that album.
What's your label? Do you have a label?
Comedy Central Records.
Clive.
Clive Davis at Aris to sign.
Really? Clive? That'd be good.
He discovered me and Whitney Houston on the same day.
Do you have how many album deal do you have with them?
I don't know. I should find that out, right?
What a great businessman.
I know. No, it's a contract. It's like 300 pages, and you go, yeah, is this good? And they go, yeah, and then you sign it. That's the way you're supposed to do it.
Do you have people?
I do have people.
Okay. So, but you might make another album with them, right?
Yeah. Wow, this is really petering out.
You know what's unbelievable is that shouldn't you? Oh, I see. I see your angle. You're the guy who interviews.
No,
nobody gets inside your head.
I just like a chat.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You can ask me questions.
No, I'm good.
What time? This is a question I meant to ask you earlier when I mentioned that we started this at 10 a.m. What time do you wake up in the morning?
Well, here's the thing. I would never, under any circumstances, get up this early. I usually get up about if I'm left to my own devices.
When do you get up?
I would get up at 11 or noon. How about you?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily noon. If I wake up at noon, I feel a little
too late.
Yeah, like all right, I wasted some of the day that I'm going to waste anyway.
So, what time do you get up?
I'm a 10:30ish guy.
Yeah, and then you write for 2 hours.
I write for 7 hours.
Yeah.
Before I even have a cup of coffee.
I don't feel good unless I put 3 or 4 hours into my various screenplays a day. So I would say my problem is not so much when I get up, is when I go to sleep. I have a real problem.
You have insomnia.
Well, I think people, if you follow my Twitter, when am I, if I'm tweeting?
That's true. There's sometimes you're tweeting, you're like, wow.
All night long. Yeah. You don't tweet as much as me, right? Not right?
I think I tweet probably more than you do.
Well, you've been tweeting longer, but you're not as obsessive every 4 minutes. Hey, now I'm at
I don't think of you as an over-tweeter.
Okay, good. Thank God.
On that note, thanks for doing my podcast. Do you think this went well?
I've had a great time.
You think people enjoy listening to it?
I hope so because I am on every. I don't have a podcast because I'm on everybody else's podcast. I'm that guy.
I got to get people making their debut.
Ooh.
Their podcast debut.
You didn't ask me to plug things, though.
I was about to.
Okay.
Let's do your Twitter at Andy Kindler.
Yeah, I like it.
AndyKindler.com.
Andy, which nothing's going on there.
There's a mailing list, which even I'm on your mailing list.
Oh, how come? You have a mailing list too?
I have a mailing list too, yeah.
Do you know I post once every 3 months?
I barely do that. I hate it. I get so lazy about it.
I posted 6 months ago, but still, 6 people had to unsubscribe.
Well, you know what that is sometimes.
What is that? They don't have that address anymore?
Right. It's like an AOL or a Hotmail or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I see. So how do they unsubscribe, though?
Don't you have an unsubscribe link on your
I do have an unsubscribe. But why would they go out of their way to unsubscribe it?
Because they're fucking anal, shitty, bad people. Like, I don't use this address anymore.
Facebook drives me. I'm not on Facebook that much.
No?
Because I just Twitter.
Yeah.
How about you?
I do it all. Don't you move your tweets over to Facebook?
I do now, yeah. It makes a lot of sense.
Really, it's life-changing.
It is life-changing. And then this summer I'll be at the Montreal Just for Laughs Festival giving my speech.
Oh, yeah, you give the State of the Union speech.
Industry. And then the album should come out. And that's it. I retire in the fall. And by winter, I will be in real estate.
Sounds good, Andy. Let's go.
Let's get some coffee.
All right, man.
Thank you, Todd.
Thanks, everyone. All right, everyone, that's the show. Follow me on Twitter at Todd Barry. My website, toddbarry.com. toddbarrypodcast@gmail.com. What else is there? Oh, Feral Audio helps me with this podcast. Go to feralaudio.com. You can donate to the podcast there. You don't have to donate to mine, but there are other podcasts to donate. I'm extremely wealthy. What else is there? Oh, yes. I have some upcoming tour dates. July 10th through 13th. I'll be at Caroline's in New York City. I'm going to be at the Just for Laughs in Chicago, which is actually before Caroline's. I'm doing these out of order, and I don't want to redo this. I'm going to be in Montreal at Just for Laughs Festival, and I will hopefully be adding some other shows soon. Thanks a lot.